All right. Let's see here. Might get it. Okay. All right, guys, please share this. Please share this because this is going to be a hot one. It's going to be a hot one. So please share it, tag people, and let's have a talk about this waiting on my Boaz. And if you're a lady that is in church or been raised in church or been single around church, you know this is the phrase, waiting on my Boaz. You know, that is the phrase. So let's talk about it. I'm not able to tag people. I'm actually in the streaming platform. So when I'm in the streaming platform, I can't tag people. Y'all know I'm shadow banned. So I'm going to give it a few seconds and we're just going to start talking. This is actually a chapter in my book. I'm going to pull that up. All right, yeah, this is actually a chapter in my book. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about that. I Need a Man. Make sure you pick up your copy, guys, of I Need a Man. Available wherever books are sold. We actually got the Kindle. The Kindle is on sale for 99 cents right now. We will not be repeating that. We will not be repeating that Kindle sale. So please do that. All right. All right, y'all. Please share. Please share. Comment. Okay, cool. Have you started reading it, Natasha? Have you started reading the book? If you started reading it, let me know what chapter you're on. Have you read the chapter that we're about to talk about today? Uh-oh. Okay, well, girl, so I know you're going to have some comments from me once you start. But all right, guys, like I said, hang on. Let me go over here. All right. All right, so we are going to just start talking and then people can chime in or catch it later or whatever. But I decided to tackle this Ruth and Boaz thing. And if you're coming in, say hi, guys. If you're coming in, please say hi. Let me know that you're here. Y'all know I'm big on talking. I'm not trying to do a monologue. I'm not an actor. So if you're coming in, let me know that you're here. But we got something to talk about. We got something to talk about that's really important because it's important in the sense that a lot of single women are waiting on something that's not going to happen. And I'm being real serious. You know, I know some of the things we talk about are comical, but this is a really serious thing because this notion of waiting on the Boaz and honestly waiting on even God, that's a bad teaching. Hey Clayton, what's up? That's a bad teaching, guys. I got to be honest with you. It's a bad teaching, and it's really got a lot of single women. I got to be honest with you guys. I know single women who have, I hate to sound like Kevin Samuels, but they died alone. And I know some single women that never married. Honestly, because they had a really false notion of what it was all about. They were really given some false teaching, you know, for the years that I was in the church system. I basically got a lot of wrong teaching, not from everybody, right? But there was a lot of wrong think going on. But this Ruth and Boaz thing has become a really big catchphrase for single women everywhere. It even transcends now. It transcends women who, you know, it may not even have the same kind of faith or don't even really know what the Ruth and Boaz thing. So this is actually a chapter in my book. We're gonna go just get going, y'all. We're gonna get going. Please share, talk. Y'all know I do not like doing monologues, so y'all talk back to me. Say what you got to say. I don't care if you agree, disagree, whatever. Let's just talk and have a respectful dialogue. Because listen, girl, at the end of the day, we want you to get your man this year. We're gonna get our men this year. We're not about to play around, fellas. If you're joining in, listen, time is up. I got to be honest with y'all. It's been very disturbing the last couple weeks. There's been a rash of murders of IG models, of men, basically people hooking up through the internet, which is nothing wrong with meeting people on the internet. That's how people meet today. Okay. Oh yeah, Fiat. But for the last few weeks, I don't know if y'all haven't noticed this, but there are quite a few IG models who got flew out and were dead, and they wound up dead. As far as I know, no murder charges have been brought to a lot of these IG models. There's a couple men who've been hooking up with people they met from IG, and they end up getting robbed. It's actually becoming a really, really big thing. So I said that. Oh yeah, Clayton. Yeah, it's getting bad, y'all. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. And I said that to say this: we too old to play around, y'all. We're too old to play games. We too old to keep merry-go-round dating, serial dating. We're too old to keep starting and stopping. And I don't care if you're in your 20s, right? All this catching bodies and all this stuff is old. Find you somebody and settle down. I'm talking from 20s on up. Y'all, it's too much out here. Life is too uncertain. You know what I'm saying? You got to get with somebody and just say, you know what, we're going to stick it out no matter what. So one of the main reasons I'm doing this whole I need a man situation is that, like, this stuff is old, y'all. It's old. It's tired. All this serial dating. It's just old. It's tiring. And even for the men, right? For the fellas, that, like, at what point do you just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to leave you in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So let's get going. Yeah, Fiat, here's the thing. I'm not about to go into details, but the next one if that ain't what he want, he can keep it moving. Like, that's just because we either gonna rock it out or we not. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, ladies, we be the one bailing out. We gotta stop that. This is really destructive. All right, so let's just get going with the topic at hand. Okay, why did I put on the title "The Lie of Ruth and Waiting on My Boaz"? Because the notion that you are waiting on Boaz is not, here go the trolls again. The trolls always come on. Here's a troll right here. Oh God, they get on my nerves. Okay. So the whole notion of waiting on Boaz, number one, I'm going to tell you how it's messed women up. It's messed women up, especially coming out of the religious world, which is a great majority of African-American people and really great majority of Americans. It's messed women up because it really says you don't have to do anything. It says that basically you just sit here and the man of your dreams, just like in Cinderella, is going to come rescue you and all of that. And ladies, please understand, I know women who have died, never having married, have an opportunity though, right? Waiting on a Boaz. I'm not kidding you, right? And that whole notion ain't even biblical. It's not biblical, and it's not the story. It's not the story. Okay. So let's just look really quickly. All right. Let's look really quickly. Let's just look real quick. Share screen. Y'all know I'm a little slow with this. Give me a second. Here we go, right here. All right. All right, so let's just look really quickly. I wish, StreamYard doesn't let me put like my screen and another screen up at the same time. I wish it did. Okay. We're not about to have a Bible study, but I just want to give y'all the premise. Most of y'all are familiar with this, so you can go to the book of Ruth, and kind of read up on it or whatever. But basically, get my glasses, child. Hold on. I can't see a thing without my glasses. All right. So we're at, hang on, go over here. I wish these controls were a little better. These controls are kind of sucky, y'all. I'm sorry. They're just a little sucky, and I don't like them. All right. So you have a lady named Naomi in the book of Ruth, and Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law. Ruth had a husband that passed, and Naomi was her mother-in-law. And if you read the backstory on Ruth, she actually decided to come and stay with her mother-in-law in the town that she was in instead of where she was from. Okay. And so, she really didn't have to do that. But she did. And so that's the little backstory of it. And so when it says, and Naomi, that she's talking about Ruth's mother-in-law, okay, of her deceased husband. So it says, and Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. So stop right there, guys. So you already know, as soon as women hear that the man got money, that's what people think about when they hear Boaz is money. Okay. Well, that's what it says. It says he's a man of, he's a man of means, a man of wealth. So that's not incorrect. All right. And then it says, and Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. You can see right there. I don't have to go any further. I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit, and we'll read some more of it, right? But I want to take you to my book. We don't have to go much further to see that. Wait a minute. So let's recap the story, right? Let's recap the story. Ruth was in the town of her mother-in-law, Naomi, and her mother-in-law, her husband had passed. And basically, she had heard about this man of wealth, of means, of her husband's family named Boaz, and he had a field. And Ruth simply said, you know what? I need to go to his field and find favor. And her mother-in-law said, go. We don't have to go no further than those first two. Does that imply that she waited on her Boaz, or she went after her Boaz? Somebody talk to me. I'm asking. Does that right there indicate she was waiting on Boaz, or did it say, I heard about this man and he got wealth, he's a kinsman, you know what I'm saying? He got a field, let me go to his field so he can notice me. Somebody talk to me, ladies. Where y'all at, fellas? Where y'all at? That right there busts the whole myth of waiting on Boaz. Where in that scripture does it imply that Ruth waited on Boaz to do anything? Ruth put herself in position to be seen by Boaz. And that's a lot of the problem, ladies. You're not putting yourself in position. All right, so let's go to the book, because I actually covered this from my original book. My original book, which was Girl, Get Your Date Life Right. She never simply waited alone. She went also. Oh yeah, we gonna get there. We getting there. We getting there. Just wrong teaching. We just been taught wrong, Clayton. We've been taught wrong. And it's really, really sad, because a lot of people don't even take the time to just read for themselves, but we've been taught wrong. Stuff sound good, right? Because waiting, right, ladies, and y'all about to be a little mad at me, but waiting indicates that you don't have to do anything. And that has been, I think, lately, of all the talk lately, with this, what you call, you guys may or may not be familiar with it, but on YouTube, they have something called the manosphere, right? And the manosphere has actually been around for a while. The manosphere actually encapsulates all races, and it's platforms where men are talking about men's issues. And especially, they're just kind of debunking all of this stuff that men got to do all the work, men got to do all the chasing, men got to do all this. It's really exploding. Kevin Samuels made it very popular. You know what I'm saying? And so the manosphere, one of the big things in the manosphere is this notion that men got to chase women, and that women don't have to do any work. Women have to do no work. Okay? No work. And so that is one of the big topics that's going on. Y'all talk to me. I see my girl Natasha there. Okay, so let's take a look at my book that you guys should have. Let's go to that chapter. Hold on, where's my looking for my table of contents. I'm on the Apple Reader. Okay, so waiting on my Boaz at 22. All right. So you see, I say right up at the top, was Boaz looking for her? No, but Ruth had a plan and got her man. So I'm gonna just read a little bit of this to y'all, so just so you can know where I'm coming from. Basically, this right out of my book. This is right out of my book. It says we are taught to go after everything we want. We are taught that if you don't go after it, you won't get it. If you want a job, will it fall in your lap by just waiting, hoping, and praying? No. You must let employers know you're available for the position, right? You must put yourself out there in the job market, right? Let's see. I'm going to get to y'all in 1 second. I'm going to read this. I'm going to come to y'all comments. All right, so let's just go over this again, right? So if you want a job, and I talk about the job market a lot in the book because it's a great parable. Y'all know I'm Parables Entertainment. to kind of contrast with the dating market, because again, this notion, and this has been, this original book was 7 years old, so I'm not getting this stuff from the manosphere. This is stuff I've been, wrote or whatever. But basically, the notion that you're just gonna wait till a man comes swoop you up, that's just, and women are waiting. Ladies, we're told, and y'all know we're told, that we don't have to do too much of nothing but let the guy come and just swoop you up and discover you. And that's why so many women are single, right? So we're taught to go after everything we want. We're taught that if you don't go after it, you won't get it. If you want a job, it's not going to fall in your lap, waiting, hoping, and praying. You must let the employers know you're available. That's one of our problems, ladies. You're not letting these men know you're available. Ruth went to his field. You think she went to his field to get the ears of corn or with the wheat or whatever? No. She went so he could see her. She knew what she got in position. She was confident enough to say, hey, you know what? I know I can get this man, but he got to see me. How you going to see me? And I'm sitting in the house all the time. Oops. All right. You must put yourself out there in the job market. Sure, you can meet your future mate by going about your everyday business. You sure can. I have a cousin. My cousin met her husband at the bank. She was literally standing in line at the bank. She went out to her car and he got her number, and the rest is history. This is my cousin in her 50s at the time. So they've been married now quite a bit. She's in her 60s now. So my cousin literally met her future husband right at the bank. Okay, so yes, you can absolutely meet your future mate anywhere. All right, so let's look at this, guys. Let's go to the next page. Yeah, but you hold on. This doggone thing, y'all. Okay. All right, so this is the next page. It says, can you meet your future mate by going about your routine? Sure, but you still got to be ready, right? You still need to know where to go, because at any time you can meet them. So yeah, look good, smell good, smile, make eye contact. Let me stay there for a minute, ladies. Let me stay there for a minute. Ladies, and fellas, if you hear, please chime in. Ladies, when you do go out, and I'm guilty of this. I'm so guilty of this. When I'm talking, y'all, I'm not talking as a expert on anything, right? I'm a journalist, first and foremost. And so any information I'm giving you guys, it's that I've researched. It ain't my opinion. It's I polled guys. I polled single men. And most of them are very high value. So I polled single men. I interviewed married men. I interviewed married women. I took the information from my 25 years in the wedding business of who men are actually marrying. I also studied data. I created groups for singles where people actually got married. Okay. And so I'm not standing here like, oh, Vanessa Lynn trying to tell me what to do, and she ain't married yet. No. I'm a journalist, and I'm presenting you guys with my data. Okay. That's all this has ever been. Of course, I got my own personal experiences, but I'm not writing a book of my experiences. I'm writing a book so you can get some results. Okay. But ladies, here's the thing. You're out in your everyday life, right? All of us, I don't care how you look, have had a guy look your way. And what do? You either look away, you don't smile back, you don't seem welcoming or friendly, and that man is not going to approach you. If you don't give him eye contact, if you don't smile, he's not going to approach you. Ladies, when that man look your way, and we ladies, we know the difference between a man just looking at us and he looking at us, right? If you don't give him no energy back, if you don't give him no smile back, what do you think he's going to do? So a lot of us are passing by potential men every single day. Every single day, ladies, because we won't smile and we won't, Anyway, let's keep going. Make sure y'all share the video. We're talking about this Ruth and Boaz thing. Where's my book? All right, there it goes. All right. Let them know you're available. As I said, Vanessa, you just told the man to pursue, so that's another part in the book. All right. So I talk about here, get in position. I'm waiting on my Boaz. Let me go back over here, y'all. I'm sorry. Go back over here to the StreamYard and make this bigger. Okay. So it talks about here, I'm waiting on my Boaz has become a popular saying. I really wonder who has taken the time to even read what the story is about. While this is not a Sunday school lesson, grab a Bible. So I'll talk about that stuff. I give you the scriptures to look for and all of that. Okay. So here is something important. I want to get to this. Now, Ruth, Ruth, number one, put herself in position. How many of you ladies are in position? She went to where this was his land. This was his land. This was where you know what I'm saying? She wasn't there looking cute. I'm sure she was looking cute, but I'm saying she wasn't there like just sitting waiting on a Prince Charming. She went to work. What does that say? Ruth and Boaz actually gives kind of validation to what some of the men have been saying lately. Some of the men have been saying lately, women, you got to sow a seed first, right? You got to. So many men have been saying that lately. Again, this is new manosphere, thing that they're talking about. But according to the story, they're not really off because she went and worked in his field. She went and worked in his field. And that's how he noticed. Do you know a lot of women will go? First of all, back in the day, women sent their daughters to college to get husbands. They didn't want to send their daughters to get. A lot of women still do. They send their daughters to get a husband, right? But a lot of women work at corporations to date those men because those men work all the time. They work all the time, right? And so if a woman say, hey, I want to marry a lawyer or a doctor or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you need to work where they are. That's like real talk, y'all. That's real talk. That's real conversations. And if you look at who doctors and lawyers and all that, a lot of times they marry people in their profession because they're at work all day. So where else are you going to meet them but there, right? So some women intentionally say, hey, this is the type of man I want, so I'm going to go where he is. If he's at the country club, I'm going to go to the country club, right? Right? The ones who's gold diggers, they say, hey, he's a rap concert. What I'm saying is people have to go where they are, right? Let's see what y'all talking about here. Yeah, she was working. Absolutely. She was working. Some have not read. They took story. Oh, yeah. To a cliche phrase just to sell some conference registrations. Right. Clayton, it's have a plan and make it plain. Like, I'm going to tell y'all what a 7-figure man told me about women and how we see men. It's going to kind of shock y'all. I heard people go to conference. Yes, you're supposed to, right? If listen, ladies, especially ladies, even some of the fellas, some of the men who you guys may not be getting the results that you want. Y'all are in the wrong places, right? Go where quality people are. Go where knowledgeable people are. Go where they are. Like Clayton said, conferences. If you're in the health, what's the easy place to meet somebody? Go to the gym. Go to, you know what I'm saying? I actually do deal with that. You actually meet somebody at the grocery store. Men are eating healthy now. They're buying healthy groceries. So you can meet a man right at the grocery store. Okay. So let's go a little bit further, y'all. I don't want to switch back and forth. Well, I do need to switch back and forth because there's one more thing I need to show y'all before we leave the Bible. One more thing I need to show y'all before we leave the Bible. Because like I said, this ain't no Bible study. Okay. Let's see here. Get to the part I want to show y'all. Listen, so then Boaz noticed her. Whose damsel is this? So her plan worked because he noticed her, right? And so he said, hey, she's the one came with Naomi, which is his kinsman, right? And then she basically said, hey, let me stay here and glean. I'm just going real quick, y'all, so we can get off of here. Boaz said to Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter, go not to glean in another field. In other words, y'all follow me, ladies. Boaz told her immediately, okay, don't go to nobody else's field. Oops. It don't take months for a man to tell you that we're gonna come back to this in a minute. We come back to this in a minute, ladies. All right, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap and go after them. Have I not charged the young men that they should not touch you? We're going to go over this in a minute. With their thirst, go and drink, which young men have drawn. She fell on her face, bowed herself to the ground, and said, well, have I found grace in your eyes? She submitted immediately. Boaz said unto her, face be showed to me all you've done to your mother-in-law. All that. Okay, so let's go back over here, y'all. Let's go back over here. All right. Did y'all see any of that? Did y'all see? You know, y'all got to help me out because I be reading to y'all. I'm in another screen. I'm thinking y'all saw what I was just reading, but y'all haven't. But that's okay. I'm gonna go back to my book. I'm gonna go back to the book. Okay. So if you all were following along, if you heard what I was saying, basically, Ruth took herself to his field that he owned. He saw her, which is what she wanted him to do, right? And he immediately had favor on her. But that was the plan, right? Her and her mother-in-law, they said, yeah, go and he'll have favor. I want him to have favor on me. And the first thing he told her is, don't go to nobody else's field. It doesn't take all day for a man to claim you, ladies. All this waiting months and months and months. A man know if he wants you. I don't care what nobody say. It doesn't take a man forever to say, I want you and I don't want you seeing nobody else. All this waiting months and months and months and years, he don't care. Ladies, he doesn't. Y'all say something, men, y'all say something, ladies, but Boaz immediately told her, don't go to anybody else's field. I'm going to provide for you. Y'all not hearing me. He said, I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to give you you can have all the wheat you want to have. No, first of all, he gave her protection. He said, nobody's going to harm you. So let's write that down. So he offered her protection. What time is it? I don't want to go past. Okay, we're good. All right. So he offered her protection. Okay. Offered her protection. He said that nobody's going to bother you. That's a big part of what a man's supposed to do, is provide protection. But he immediately said, listen, he instructed his men, make sure she's good. You protect her, right? So he immediately provided protection for her. I got it right here in my book, right? He said that she could glean from his field anytime, that he promised her that no men would harm her, and he opened his water supply to her. All right. And he also said, I'm going to put you over the other women in the field. So in one day, in one fell swoop, all right, and I can't say it was a day, but, within a very short amount of time, Boaz noticed her. He gave her favor. He provided for her, and he protected her. All in one fell swoop. But the chain of events started not because she waited on him. She went where he was. She put herself in position of where he was. These not my words. Y'all been lied to. Y'all been told to wait on your Boaz. That's not who's teaching this, right? The old school people, but who's teaching this the way it's written? Like, we're just talking about this here. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about this, okay? Let me go to the next page of the book. And here's another big thing, everybody, is the wise counsel, right? She basically had the counsel of this older woman. And I talk about this a lot. Ladies, who are you around? This is a really, really, really big deal. This is a real, real, real big deal. Because if you want to be a wife, you need to be around wives. I actually put that in a video that I did last week, I think. And I put like some 6 red flags or whatever, 6 things, 5 things single women need to stop doing. And one of them was hanging around your single friends. Ladies, if you want to be a wife, you need to be around wives. You need to be around women who are married and have been married. That's just bottom line. That is, no matter what scripture, or no matter what faith or discipline you is, that's just plain. Oh, it used to be the older teach the younger how to be a wife, how to be chaste at home, how to be, you know what I'm saying? Now we got the advice of our other girlfriends, and, she may be bitter with men or whatever, or not interested in getting married. And this is who you're around. No, you need to get around wives. The majority of my friends are married. I'm going to say 80% of my friends are married. My very, very close friends, probably 90%. Like, of my very close friends, I think it's only maybe 1 or 2 not married. Maybe. Okay. But of my close friends, they are married, right? And the women that mentor me, they're married to the tune of 40, one of them about to be 50 years. These are the women I talk to. These are the women I interviewed for the book. Okay. These are the women. Um, Ladies, if you don't know, if you've never been a wife, right, or you didn't grow up with a wife, especially if your mother wasn't married to your father and you didn't see that growing up, you really don't know what a wife is. You don't. You have no idea what it is. You think it's a girlfriend. You think it's a, and we were talking about that earlier. That a lot of women. I'm telling you this from my experience in the wedding business and all the couples that I met. A lot of women think of marriage as a long-term boyfriend. They have no idea what it entails, right? So this is why it's important that you get some wise counsel, right? Ruth had her mother-in-law. Now it goes on to talk about. I don't need to get into the book real deep. Y'all know the story, and I got scripture references here. It goes on to talk about to put the icing on the cake. Ruth basically said, "Hey, Boaz is going to be laying here." I think Natasha talked about it earlier. Yeah, Boaz is going to be staying here at this place at this time. I need you to go to him, lift up the cover, and lay up under his feet. Now, what all happened during that meeting, I can't tell you, right? But she basically spent the night with him, and the next morning, he was like, "Yeah, what I got to do to get this whole situation going," right? So the whole notion of waiting on your Boaz is false. It's not the biblical story. It's nothing in here about her waiting. Nothing. It's actually quite the opposite. It's actually quite the opposite. This is actually more about a woman having a plan, a woman having her eyes set on who she wants and wisely going after it. It's the exact opposite, ladies, of what we have been taught. And that's a big deal because, like I said, in a lot of women's minds, they don't have to do anything. I'm going to just be cute and he going to come and you're going to be waiting. Okay? And so from talking to the single men that are eligible and available, a lot of them say there's no wives out here. And they're saying that for a reason. Another thing, ladies, is you think that a good woman equals a good wife. It does not. A responsible adult does not equal a good wife. Again, because a lot of women don't know what it is. Somebody had a post up the other day. A male friend of mine put a post up. I forgot what the post said, but it said something about, are you going into 2022 single, married? You know, he was just asking people's relationship status. You know, he's like, are you going into the new year? This. Oh my gosh, I should have seen the women's comments. You should have seen the women's comments. They were like, you know, ain't no men out here. Where they at? I'm this. One lady like literally laid out her whole life. I own my own car. I did this. I did. I'm cool. I'm like, she literally was tooting her own horn. And I'm like, lady, everything she named, a man could look at that and say, okay, you named all that, but you don't even know what I require from a wife, from a woman, right? So ladies, this is the whole concept of waiting on your Boaz has really, really messed us up. It really, really has, because it has some women thinking they don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to put in any work, right? In the beginning stages, that they're just this man is just gonna come by, swoop them up, and just it's gonna be instant family. And that's just anything but the truth. Okay. So let's see what else we want to cover here. We almost done, y'all. I wasn't gonna be on here long. Hang on, let me go back to that screen. I'm sorry. I don't know why I got that screen off there. Share screen. All right. So yeah, I talked about the wise counsel. Yeah, and I talked about here your circle. You know what I'm saying? Your circle. Who are you around? Right? I said it right here. Who are you around, ladies? That is a big deal. Who you're around is the people who influence you, right? The people who influence you. And so if you're around women who aren't wives or aren't interested in that, or they're just doing their own thing or whatever, that is who's going to be that's your influence. No matter what you think, no matter how you have your mind up, that is your influence. Okay. So, I think we kind of debunked the myth of waiting on your Boaz. It does not exist. It's not a real thing. It's never been a real thing. It is a false teaching. If you see anybody doing that again, you need to correct them. Y'all stop having your conferences. Stop doing your preaching messages saying you're waiting on your Boaz. You are not waiting on your Boaz. And if you keep waiting, you might die waiting, right? Because that's just not how, if you're going to reference this story, that's not how this story goes. Even and when people talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, the Proverbs 31 woman was a worker. She had businesses. She stayed up at night. She was handling business, handling merchandise, making sure her family was good. So I think, ladies, we got a lot of misinformation right out here about what a wife does and the woman ain't got to work and all that. Like, what are y'all reading? This is a new concept because it's certainly not biblical. These women in the Bible was working. They were working. They were doing stuff not only just for the house. They was doing merchandising and, you know, especially the Proverbs 31. Let's see if we can put it up for a minute. Especially the Proverbs 31, because when anybody talk about wives, they talk about either Proverbs or they talk about Ruth and Boaz. All right, so let's go to this real quick. Hang on. All right, so I got to get back over here and switch over, and we're gonna talk about this for a second, and then we out of here. Boaz was older, mature, established. Right, exactly. There, that's another good point, Natasha. Boaz was an older man, and actually he died not too long after they got married. You know what I'm saying? But she secured that future, right? But yeah, he was an older man. A lot of time you want the young hot guy and whatever. And let me not put young guys down, because I got to be honest with you. It seemed like when you start getting mid and later 40s and even 50s, especially if you're a youthful person, it seemed like the guys are a little bit younger, seem like they're more attracted to you, and maybe because the ladies in their age aren't maybe as, you know, grounded or whatever. So I'm certainly not putting that down. But like you said, Natasha, he was older, he was mature, he was established. You know what I'm saying? And so he was set, right? They also didn't have sex first. Yeah, I don't know what happened in the barn that day. You know, something happened. I'm not saying it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It don't say that. So if it don't say that, we're not gonna put that in there. But that laying at the feet, that was something sensual. I can't tell you what all it was, but something was going on. Let's see. And you know, that's all they do today though, is just, you know, this people, sex today is not just about sex. People really, really don't have a lot going for themselves. They don't have a lot to talk about. They don't know how to go deeper into a person besides physically, right? And so I think a lot of times people are doing that because they don't have nothing else to offer. All right, so this is part of Proverbs 31, the other scripture people quote all the time. Who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. That's a big deal, y'all. The heart of her husband, right? What it's saying is that she's trustworthy. When I was polling the married men, I said, what is the trait, one trait that your wife had that made you pick her over other women? Do you know how many men said they could trust her? One man told me, young man said, I trusted my wife more than I loved her. That really, really stuck with me. Trust is a big deal for men, right? That's a big deal. So it says heart of her husband does trust in her. He shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good, not evil, all the days of her life. How many women are doing that? Here goes right here. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. What? Wait, what? She worked? Wait a minute. The Proverbs 31, one woman worked. She is like merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. What? She rideth also while she at night and giveth meat to her household. So wait, she was working and providing for her family and her staff. She considers a field and buy it. So she's a boss. So wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me the Proverbs 31 woman is a boss chick? I'm reading it right here. It says she considered a field and she buys it. Okay. It says, And her hands, she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth off not by night. So wait, she layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands, hang on, y'all. Let me go up a little bit. Where we go. She layeth her hands to the spindle. Yeah, I'm not going to go through it all, but it talks about her coverings, her tapestry, her clothing is like silk and purple. She's not afraid of the snow for her household. Her household is covered with scarlet, so her household is good. She makes fine linen and sell it. The Proverbs 31 woman was a boss chick. So where are we getting this notion that women that's married not supposed to work? Or where are we getting that from? It's not biblical. If you're going by biblical, say it's not biblical. It just told you right there that this woman worked during the day and she fed her household at night. So she basically had a family as well as a business. She had real estate. Like she was really a multi-dimensional woman. So I don't know where the notion has come that women not supposed to work. I think it's a new notion because it's not, you don't really find that in scripture. Those women worked with their hands. They had different stuff that they sold at the market. They made clothes or they did things with food and then they sold it at the market. They helped with the household. That goes against the today's narrative. It goes against today's narrative. Okay? But it ain't biblical. If that's the standard you're going by. It's not biblical, right? And so I just don't know where all this false teaching has come from, but it's just wrong. It's just wrong. If that's the standard you're going by, the standard that a woman's not supposed to work or have a business, that's not biblical. It's not biblical. The notion that Ruth waiting on Boaz, the notion that, you know what I'm saying, you're not supposed to pursue a man. Well, the difference between pursue a man and asking a man out or whatever, she didn't ask him anything. She knew that, let me go. She knew she was confident within herself. She knew that she was a good enough looking woman and all of that, that if she presents herself, that she's a hard worker and she's attractive and whatever, that he would notice her. And he did. And then on top of that, she had a good reputation, right? He said, oh, that's the one who came over with my family, Ruth, and she came over here. Okay. So he knew that she was of a good integrity, right? He's saying she was a hard worker. And he immediately, ladies, stop going for the okie doke. Boaz immediately said, don't go to nobody else's field. In other words, I got you. You can have all the water you want. You can get all the wheat you want. My men are going to protect you. So, and he said, I want you to be over the maidens. So in one fell swoop, she got provision, protection, and promotion. Immediately. It don't take a man that long, ladies. It doesn't take him that long to figure out if you're who he wants. If you find yourself just months and months and months and months and months, and he's still talking about, I don't know, no, it's not. He's not going to change. A man he knows up front. Now, whether he acts on it up front or not, that's different. But a man pretty much knows, and men will tell you that. Ask them. They know pretty much up front. They know immediately. I asked one man. I said, what are the categories you put women in? He said, men got two categories, keeper or sleeper. He said, ain't no in between. He said, when you meet a woman, she's either one that you're going to keep around or you're just going to sleep with her. Ain't no maybes, ain't no sleeper or keeper. That's what he said. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're going to get out of here. But yeah, just wanted to debunk the lie of Ruth and Boaz. It's not true. She did not wait on him. She didn't. She went after what she wanted. And ladies, are you going to keep doing the same thing, expecting different results? Like if you want to do this, let me share this. I'm actually put this in another. I'm gonna put this in another video, but I'll just share this little nugget because if you're on here, I'll just share it with you. So this is a 7-figure earner. It's a 7-figure earner. And me and him were having a discussion about relationships and marriage and, all of that. And I gotta be honest with you, there's been times I had very go with the flow kind of attitude with relationships sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes. And so I had met a guy and he said, V, what's your plan for him? I said, what do you mean? He said, what do you want to do with him? I said, I don't know. I said, see what he about, whatever. He said, it's your problem. He said, you need to have a plan going in. He said, you want to get married, right? I said, yeah. He said, tell that man immediately you want to get married. Immediately. He also said, just like anything else, you got to strategize. He said, V, your problem is you want to go with the flow. And when you go with the flow, you can just go wherever. A man needs to know upfront that you are intentional about what you want. And he said, tell him immediately. And as I'm talking to men, they're like, yeah, I agree with that. Tell a man up front that no. But a lot of women, we go in and we thinking that we being the cool girl, just saying, hey, let's see where it goes. No. You tell a man up front, I am looking to be married, not necessarily to him, but my goal is to be married. If that's not where you're at, and ladies, if he said that's not where he's at, bid him adieu. Stop. Ladies, what we end up doing is, say we do tell a guy that, right? And they say, well, I don't want to be married, or I'm not interested in having a relationship, right? We'll hang on, maybe thinking, okay, if I'm around him, he'll change his mind or whatever like that. That man told you up front he wasn't interested. So what you have done is you're about to waste months, maybe years of your life. If a man don't want to be married, if he tells you up front he's only looking for something casual, if he tells you up front he's not interested in being married, believe him. If you stick around, that's on you. We got to stop doing that, ladies. A lot of women do that. Okay? Got to stop it. All right? So make sure you pick up I Need a Man that has all those nuggets in it. I'm going to show y'all a few of the chapters. And I hate my phone. My phone is so loud. I got to change that. That ringtone thing I got. But let me just give y'all the chapters. And if y'all got something to say, say it. If not, we're going to get on out of here. But the chapters of my book. Come on. Why are you going slow? Goodness gracious. Okay. Jeez, oh, peace. Okay, so. All right, so my chapters in the book, make this bigger, are well, it starts off with the interview. The interview is actually a chapter. It's actually, it talks about dating in the context of going to a job interview. Okay, and the different phases of the job interview, the things you got to do to get prepared for the job interview, and then the offers you can get for the job. Okay, so that's just kind of like a parable. The King and I is actually a very long chapter. It's a super long chapter. It's probably the longest chapter in the book. I really probably could have broke it up in a couple of sections, but it's really broken up into two sections. It's broken up into, it talks about the king, who the king is, and then it talks about the queen, what the king is looking for. And so that is let me tell y'all how long the King and I is. Hold on. It's a long chapter. The King and I goes from page 12 to, oh goodness, 49. No, page 12 to page, it looks like 49 or something. It's a long chapter, y'all. It is a long chapter. It is. It's a super long chapter. Like I said, I really could have broken that up, but for some reason I decided to just keep it as is. So basically, the King and I, we'll just do this. So the King and I, that's what that's about. So let me just tell y'all this. So the basis of my play, I Need a Man, is actually based on the A to Z toxic personality traits in chapter 1, the King and I. Okay, and I have these A to Z. They're analyzing Anita, Bad Vibes, Bernice. So I actually use 4 of those in that. Okay, so you have that. Hold on. And then you have, let me go back here. This is easier to navigate. This Apple reader isn't as smooth as honestly. He talked about the dating market again. It just kind of gives an analogy of, you know, grocery market and dating market. Swipe left. This talks about internet dating. Fatal Attraction is a really heavy, actually one of my favorite chapters, because it talks about women who are attracted to the same type of men, the same type of non-committal, narcissistic, you know, toxic men, and why that is. It might not be what you think. The value systems is really important. A lot of times when we're dating, we don't talk about core value systems. Influencers talk about the people who you have around you, the people who are most influential on your dating life and all that, including your family, your friends, social media. Red flags, this is self-explanatory. No scrubs. No scrubs, it's kind of based off the TLC song. It's not talking about men that are scrubs. It talks about why you date them or why you're attracted to them. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, that's actually a personal story of mine. Okay. And I actually do share that. The wolf story is really, 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 yeah, but that's a personal story of mine. Okay. When in doubt, check them out. This talks about basically checking up on people, how you can check people on the internet. Keep your panties on. That's an interesting chapter. Okay. Treat her like a lady. Just talks about the kind of the attributes of the lady. Side chicks is just what you think it is. Baby mama. Baby mama, actually it's kind of deep. It sounds like a comical chapter, but it's not. It's not comical at all. Baby mama talks about women who are baby mamas by divorce, and then women who are baby mamas because they were single mothers, and then talks about a man that you were dating, his baby mama. Just Friends, it goes through all of the labels of the friends. These two chapters talk about all the different friend zones and all the different friendships you can have. Pygmesia is just what it says. It talks about the Pygmesia, the thirst trappers. Let's see, you got the dating matrix, which is the, you know, hey, you date, and then you wait. You date. Investments, talks about the independent woman, talks about just changing your mind about how you're dating. We just went over the WAIT on BOAZ. Transparency is a really important thing. Stepping out the box and maybe dating people you haven't dated before. Abandon ship. Now this one talks about all the different ships, the situation ships, the this ships, the, you know, so it talks about that. War on the Family is a serious one. I dig into some history about that, and then we talk about the femininity and all that. So please get the book. The book is really, really filled with a lot of great researched information that we can talk about. So I'm looking forward to starting to do the book circuit, the book club circuit, and all that. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. All right. Hope to see y'all February 12th for I Need a Man Live Dinner Theater. Actually, the tickets are already selling. The tickets are already selling for I Need a Man Dinner Theater. I'm bringing the dinner theaters back. People have asked about it. So we're bringing the dinner theaters back. So we're just doing one show at the International Institute. You can go to, I got the little scroll down here, DetroitShowTickets.com, or you can look on my page. It's all over the place. Okay. All right. So I think that we have very well debunked the waiting on my Boaz myth. And it's actually quite the opposite. So I think that we just got to start changing our mind, ladies. We got to change our mind about what we were taught. If we go into 2022 with the same mindset that we've been taught, we're going to get the same results. And so there's some things we got to unlearn. Okay. There's some things we got to unlearn. And let's get these husbands, girl. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace out. I will see y'all soon.